You might be poisoning your own body without realizing it. And the scariest part, it's happening first thing in the morning, right in your kitchen, with a food you believed was healthy, the egg. Yes, the same egg many consider a perfect protein could be accelerating inflammation, overloading your kidneys, increasing heart risks, or even sabotaging your memory, all because of a simple mistake in preparation or consumption. According to data from the Cleveland Clinic, about 50% of adults over 60 show some form of metabolic dysfunction, and what you eat when you wake up can drastically worsen that. The problem lies in how the egg is handled, and unfortunately, 99% of seniors are doing it wrong. But there's good news. You don't have to eliminate eggs from your plate. On the contrary, when consumed the right way, they can be a powerful ally for brain health, muscle strength, and even the prevention of chronic diseases. In this video, you'll discover 4 common and dangerous ways to consume eggs, ways that many people consider normal, but that are aging your body from the inside. And at the end, I'll show you how to prepare eggs the right way so they act as a true elixir of longevity. These are simple adjustments that can completely change your health. These tips change lives, and they're not based on guesswork or internet trends. They are recent scientific discoveries that reveal the real impact of eggs on the aging body, especially for those over 50. Subscribe to the channel now. This way, you'll receive content like this that helps you and the people you love to age with more health and freedom. Wrong way 1. Frying the egg in refined vegetable oil. You wake up, head to the kitchen, crack an egg into the skillet, and let it sizzle until it forms that crispy edge. Seems like a good start to the day, right? But at that very moment, as the aroma fills the air, a silent chemical reaction begins to happen, and it may be accelerating the aging of your arteries. The first wrong way to consume eggs is to fry them in refined vegetable oils like soybean, corn, canola, or sunflower. These oils are cheap, popular, and found in most American households. The problem lies in what they hide: a high content of oxidative omega-6 fatty acids that, when heated, produce toxic, highly inflammatory compounds such as aldehydes and lipid peroxides. And we're not talking about just any inflammation. We're talking about low-grade, chronic, and constant inflammation, the kind behind Alzheimer's, joint pain, high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and countless diseases that steal vitality from those over 60. Now imagine the egg itself is an excellent source of choline, essential for the production of acetylcholine, the key neurotransmitter for memory, attention, and muscle function. But when you soak it in toxic oil, it stops being a functional food and starts acting like a hidden neuron destroyer. Yes, the same breakfast that seemed healthy could be affecting your clarity and independence. In a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, chronic consumption of foods rich in oxidized fat was associated with increased levels of inflammatory markers, such as C-reactive protein. And what does that mean in practice? A body aging faster with less cellular protection, reduced cognitive ability, and a higher risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Moreover, frying the egg in vegetable oil at high temperatures destroys some of the yolk's natural antioxidants and damages its structure, especially lutein and zeaxanthin to nutrients, essential for eye and brain health. It's as if you're burning your own medicine before even taking it. Now you might be thinking, but I've always done it this way, and I never had any problems. And here's the truth that few have the courage to say. The effects aren't immediate. They accumulate. Every morning, a little more inflammation, a little more stiffness in the joints, a little more forgetfulness throughout the day, until one day you realize your body no longer responds the way it used to. A way to avoid all of this without giving up flavor and convenience. The good news is, there is. Instead of frying your egg in vegetable oils, use high-quality butter, preferably ghee, virgin coconut oil, or olive oil at low temperature. These lipids don't oxidize in the same way and even offer benefits, such as antioxidant action, neurological protection, and better digestion of fat-soluble vitamins like D and E, which are present in the egg itself. Boiling, boiled, or poached eggs preserve the nutrients in the yolk, avoid the use of fat, and do not form toxic byproducts. And if you miss the crunchiness, there are simple culinary tricks with spices and herbs that add texture and flavor, without compromising your health. Of course, no one is saying that a fried egg will send you straight to the hospital. But if it's part of your routine and always cooked in cheap vegetable oil, you need to be careful. Silent accumulation is the real enemy, especially after 50, when the body no longer eliminates toxins as efficiently as before. So the next time you prepare your eggs, remember, what seems like a small detail in cooking could be the determining factor between protecting your memory or accelerating the forgetting process. And the next mistake is even sneakier. Many consider this method light and even healthy, but it could be sabotaging your hormones and your muscles. If you've ever tried cutting calories and still felt weaker and unfocused, get ready, because the next section could change everything. Wrong way 2, eating only the egg white and discarding the yolk. For decades, the egg yolk was treated like a villain. Many old-school doctors and TV programs insisted it was high in cholesterol and therefore dangerous for the heart. The result? Millions of seniors began eating only the egg white, believing they were making a smart choice. But what few know is that by removing the yolk, they're throwing away the most valuable part of the egg, especially for the brain and hormones. Let's look at the facts. The egg yolk contains almost all the essential nutrients that make the egg a superfood: choline, vitamin D, vitamin A, vitamin B12, iron, selenium, lutein, zeaxanthin, the list goes on. And all of these elements work directly to protect the nervous system, support the immune system, promote eye health, and regulate hormones. And the egg white? It's basically a source of protein. A good one, yes, but incomplete. It's like throwing away the most potent part of a medicine and taking only the capsule coating. And about the fear of cholesterol, it's no longer supported. Recent studies and systematic reviews, like those published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition, show that the cholesterol in food has minimal impact on blood. Cholesterol, for most people, the real villains are ultra-processed foods, excessive sugar, and oxidized vegetable oils, not the whole egg. More than that, the choline in the yolk is an indispensable nutrient for the formation and maintenance of acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter essential for memory, learning, and muscle control. And you know what's serious? According to data from NHANES National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey, more than 90% of the American population has an insufficient intake of choline, and this especially affects seniors. Discarding the yolk is like amputating half the intelligence from your plate. And if you're still in doubt, think about this. Vitamin D, essential for strong bones, fall prevention, immunity, and even mental health, is practically absent in the egg white. It's the yolk that holds this treasure. And it doesn't stop there. The carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin, which protect the eyes against age-related degeneration, are also found exclusively in the yolk. But let's imagine you're still hesitant. You think your cholesterol is high or that the doctor forbade it. Here's an important fact. For most people, eating up to 1 whole egg per day is safe and even beneficial. The Harvard School of Public Health reinforces that, in healthy individuals, there is no association between moderate egg consumption and cardiovascular disease. On the contrary, there are signs of improvements in metabolic and cognitive health markers. And if you're trying to cut calories by avoiding the yolk, know that this habit may be weakening your sexual and muscular hormones. That's because healthy fats are essential for the production of testosterone, estrogen, and other hormones that sustain energy, mood, and muscle function, especially after age 50, when the body already feels the natural decline of these levels. Yes, the yolk is rich in cholesterol, but it's precisely this cholesterol that the body uses as the base to manufacture steroid hormones. Cutting out the yolk is like asking your body to keep producing vitality without providing the basic building blocks. And here's a fact that will make you think twice before separating. Your egg again? Seniors with low levels of choline and vitamin D have a higher risk of dementia, muscle loss, and recurring falls. And all of that could be prevented with a simple morning habit: eating the whole egg. So the next time you've got a fork in your hand, remember, the yellow part that many people discard is, in fact, one of the best tools you have to protect your mind, your muscles, and your independence. And if you think cutting the yolk was bad, the next mistake is even sneakier. It happens outside your home, in restaurants, bakeries, and even in fitness products at the supermarket. Many people consume eggs this way, thinking they're doing their health a favor, but they may be ingesting a dangerous combination of toxins and additives that completely disrupt metabolism. Because what's coming next could be sabotaging your energy and memory without you realizing it. Wrong way 3. Consuming industrialized or ultra-processed eggs. It might seem practical, modern, even fit. Carton omelets, ready to microwave. Eggs, snacks with pasteurized egg, breakfast bars with egg white protein, or even those frozen meals with scrambled eggs on the label. All of it looks healthy, but in reality, it might be delivering to your body an invisible cocktail of toxins, additives, and chemical residues that directly harm your metabolic and brain health. The third mistake is one of the most deceptive: eating eggs in their industrialized or ultra-processed form. And we're not just talking about what's sold as egg substitute. We're talking about any version that undergoes mass processing, added preservatives, stabilizers, acidifiers, and sits on shelves or in freezers for days or weeks before reaching your table. And why is this a problem? Let's break it down. When an egg is cracked and industrialized, its structure begins to degrade rapidly. To prevent spoilage, the industry adds synthetic antioxidants, emulsifiers, and even petroleum thickeners. In addition, many of these products undergo extreme heating, completely denaturing the proteins and oxidizing the fats in the yolk. The result? A food that looks like an egg, but with drastically reduced nutritional value, and worse, loaded with inflammatory substances that your body, especially after age 50, has a harder time processing. And there's more. Some egg-based products contain traces of bisphenol, ABP, phthalates, and other hormone-disrupting contaminants that come from plastic packaging and production lines. These toxins are known to interfere with the endocrine system, harm hormone production, affect cognition, and even contribute to neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. A study from environmental health perspectives revealed that people with high levels of phthalates in their blood had a greater risk of cognitive decline and memory problems. Imagine the impact of that over the years in a more sensitive body with reduced detoxification capacity. And for those thinking, oh, but it's just once in a while, remember that frequent consumption, even in small amounts of these products, combined with everyday environmental exposure, builds up silently. The price for this can come in the form of constant fatigue, difficulty concentrating, headaches, sleep disturbances, and even subtle hormonal changes that affect mood and appetite. Now here comes the most important part. These products often appear harmless. Many labels say trans fat-free, high in protein, light, or ideal for diets. But that doesn't mean they're good for you. It only means they've been designed to look appealing, and unfortunately, that fools even the most attentive consumers. If you want to truly reap the benefits of eggs, the rule is simple. The closer to their natural form, the better. Free-range eggs, preferably organic, when freshly prepared, offer all their nutrients in bioavailable form, without the risks associated with industrial processing. And one more practical tip: avoid eating eggs that are already cracked or mixed into ready-made recipes outside your home, like in bakeries, fast food chains, or diners. In these places, it's common to use mixes with colorants, artificial flavorings, and other hidden ingredients. Even that scrambled egg from your hotel breakfast may contain more preservatives than you think. If convenience is the goal, prepare your eggs simply at home, boiled scrambled with olive oil and herbs, or poached. You can even make a homemade freezable omelet using fresh ingredients and storing it properly for up to 3 days. It's much safer, and you know exactly what you're putting into your body. Now, if you thought that mistake was dangerous, the next one might be even more serious. It doesn't involve packaging or restaurants, but rather temperature and cooking time. Many people do this without thinking, assuming that the longer the egg is cooked, the safer it becomes. But what happens to its nutrients might surprise you, and it could also directly affect your memory. Get ready, because the next section reveals something rarely talked about, and absolutely essential for anyone looking to protect their brain. Wrong way for overcooking the egg or using high heat. Have you ever opened a boiled egg and seen that greenish ring around the yolk? A lot of people think it's normal, or even a sign that it's well cooked. But that color hides something concerning, a clear sign that you've destroyed part of the eggs. Nutritional value, . And the most serious part is that this is happening inside one of the most complete foods in nature, all because of a common cooking mistake. The fourth wrong way to eat eggs is leaving them on the heat for too long or exposing them to very high temperatures, such as during aggressive frying or in high-powered ovens. It may seem harmless, but the impact of this practice goes far beyond flavor or texture. We're talking about the Maillard reaction, lipid oxidation, and protein denaturation, 3 processes that together transform a therapeutic food into an inflammatory trigger for the body. And why is this especially harmful for people over 50? Because as we age, our digestive system no longer processes proteins with the same efficiency. The body takes longer to break down and absorb amino acids, and any excessive denaturation further hinders that absorption. Additionally, the compounds generated by overheating the egg, such as the oxidation of choline and lutein, compromise precisely the 2 pillars of brain health: neurotransmitters and antioxidants. In other words, the egg remains in your diet, but it no longer offers the support your brain desperately needs. What's more, when you overcook the egg white, it forms strong bonds with avidin, a protein that binds to biotin, preventing its absorption. Biotin is crucial for cellular energy, metabolism, and the health of your skin and scalp. No wonder so many people begin to notice brittle nails and hair loss without realizing the problem lies in how long they cook their morning eggs. The ideal, gentle, and precise cooking: eggs should be cooked for 8 to 10 minutes maximum once the water is gently boiling. If scrambling, prefer low heat and stir slowly. If baking or poaching, choose temperature-controlled methods and avoid leaving them too long in the oven. That's how you preserve choline, maintain fat-soluble vitamins, and prevent the formation of harmful compounds like oxidized homocysteine. Remember, it's not about stopping eating eggs. It's about treating them with the respect your health deserves. Every time you cook an egg the right way, you're giving your body a natural dose of neuroprotection, energy, and satiety. Now, if you've made it this far, it's because you truly care about your mind, your memory, and your independence. And maybe you don't know yet, but there's a shocking investigation underway about brain toxins that are silently draining acetylcholine from millions of Americans. These toxins, which many are consuming daily without realizing, may be behind the dramatic increase in memory lapses, mental confusion, and fatigue. If you want to find out what's behind this and how to protect your brain, click the link in the first pinned comment. This information could make all the difference. How to prepare eggs the right way for longevity after so many common and silent mistakes. You may be wondering, in the end, what's the best way to prepare eggs to protect my memory, bones, muscles, and energy? The good news is that it's not about complicating, it's about simplifying smartly. When you understand the real value of each part of the egg, you begin to see this food as a true ally of longevity. The first thing to understand is that eggs only deliver their benefits when we respect their natural limits. Gentle cooking, quality fat, and correct combinations are the three pillars that turn the egg into a functional superfood, precisely boiled. The safest and most efficient way to consume eggs is by boiling them with controlled timing. Place the eggs in gently boiling water and count 8 to 10 minutes maximum. At the end, cool them in cold water to stop the cooking process. This simple care preserves the yolk's choline, avoids the formation of the green oxidation ring, and maintains the ideal texture of the white. For those with sensitive digestion, boiled eggs are one of the best tolerated forms, scrambled on low heat with olive oil or ghee. Forget the smoking pan and the rush to cook everything in 2 minutes. Use low heat, a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil or clarified butter ghee, and cook slowly. The secret is to stir gently, respecting the yolk structure to avoid aggressive denaturation. Want to make it even more nutritious? Add turmeric and black pepper, an anti-inflammatory duo that boosts the dish's antioxidant power. Poached egg. It looks fancy, but it's extremely simple. Crack an egg into a small bowl. In a pan, heat water with a spoon of vinegar until small bubbles form. Stir to create a gentle whirlpool and pour in the egg. In 3 to 4 minutes, you'll have a soft and nutritious yolk with a firm, white, and delicate texture, perfect to serve over a slice of 100% whole grain bread or a bed of leafy greens. Oven-baked omelet with vegetables. If you're looking for convenience, make a baked omelet with anti-inflammatory vegetables like spinach, red onion, bell pepper, and garlic. Beat the eggs with a bit of turmeric, a pinch of salt, and herbs like rosemary or oregano. Bake at medium heat for 20 minutes and store in portions. It lasts up to 3 days in the fridge and can be reheated without compromising nutrients. Ideal for those with a busy schedule, but who still want to eat mindfully. Smart combinations to amplify the egg's effect. One of the best ways to enhance the egg's neuroprotective power is to combine it with foods rich in natural antioxidants, like avocado, which provides healthy fats, or leafy greens, like arugula or kale, which offer folic acid and vitamin K nutrients that work synergistically with choline to protect cognitive functions. Always avoid pairing it with processed meats, like bacon or sausage. Although traditional in American breakfasts, these processed products contain nitrites, preservatives, and oxidized saturated fat, which cancel out the egg's positive effects and even increase the risk of systemic inflammation. And if your biggest objection is time or complexity, know this: none of the preparations we mentioned here take more than 10 to 15 minutes. No special equipment is needed, nor expensive ingredients. Most of the suggestions can be made with just eggs, a good skillet, and a handful of herbs or fresh vegetables, which you probably already have in your fridge. And if you feel you lack creativity in the kitchen, start with the basics: a boiled egg, a drizzle of olive oil, and a pinch of turmeric. Done! You've just created an anti-inflammatory, brain-protective, and highly nutritious dish. Value the power of simplicity. When treated with respect, the egg can be much more than food. It can be part of your daily longevity plan. And speaking of longevity, you'll want to watch this video because it reveals something few people realize. 2 supplements that must never be mixed, a combination millions of seniors make every day, which accelerates aging and even harms the heart. It's not an exaggeration. Science has already proven it. Click and watch.